MMA, bare knuckle boxing. MMA.
It's not bare knuckle boxing. Didn't you watch the interview?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
It's bare knuckle fighting, as one David Feldman let it be known yesterday. Well, welcome everyone to. I was about to say welcome to the A side, but it's not the A side. It's UFC Vegas 32 pre-fight Q&A. We're down 2 people. Mike Heck is traveling back from the desolate hellscape that is Tampa, Florida, and AK Lee is covering another bare knuckle fighting match. This time between Artem Lobov and a Olympic silver medalist. So be on the lookout for his recap. So we're down 2 men. So it's just Casey and me and Casey.
Our whole staff is watching this barbaric sport of bare knuckle. Jeez.
Circus.
At least we're keeping it classy and keeping it to mixed martial arts in a enclosed fence area.
Yeah, with a very high quality main event. None of this.
The highest of qualities.
Seriously. None of this. I don't want to hear any talk about last night had awesome fights and this and that. The fights were fun. They were not good fights. They were fun fights. They were fun beat-em-up fights.
They were fantastic fights.
This main event rules. So we're going to talk about
tonight's card. We're talking about tonight's card, and it rules.
Yes. Anyway, Mike Heck might be back for the post-show. I assume AK will be back for the post-show, but Mike is traveling, so if he wants some time to recover from the chaos that was BKFC 19, then so be it. Anyway, you guys know the drill. You can ask questions in the YouTube comments, on Twitter, on Facebook.
Let's do it.
However you want to say it. So, without further ado, Casey, what is our first question from the people?
First question. We got some trash. Look at this. We've offended some people.
Don't talk crap about my hometown of Tampa. We can find faults with every city. Yeah, but can you find any positives in Tampa? Nothing. They got a couple championships the last few years.
I don't know. Not yet. I mean,
yet. I'm confident in saying that bare knuckle fighting championships will never surpass the UFC in high caliber fights or popularity. I am very confident when I say that. But that's fine. It's fun to watch. Like, it doesn't have this versus that thing is silly to me and lazy. Just let everyone can have fun doing whatever they want.
That is actually the correct answer. That's not a competition. There's so much fun to be had out there. There's so many fighters that want to punch each other in different formats. You know, a circle ring, a cage, or a triangular ring. We got plenty of time, people.
Yeah.
There's no need.
I think any sort of promotion where look at us compared to them is silly. Whether it's pro wrestling or MMA or anything, just watch what you want to watch. Because I'm pretty confident not a lot of people that watched last night will watch BKFC 20. I'm pretty sure a lot of them didn't watch BKFC 18 either.
I had some friends watching BKFC last night, and they watch a lot of UFC events. They're kind of new to the sport, and I'll just say this. Just for pure entertainment value, they really enjoyed the bare knuckle.
It is much easier to watch for people who are new to martial arts.
The learning curve to get into it is definitely much smaller. Yeah.
The learning curve is like there's no what are the rules? Oh, you can punch and there's no gloves and you're in a circle. Those are the rules. It's easy. This whole Dana White saying like everyone loves a fight. Like MMA is a highly regulated sport with a complicated rule set that changes from country to country. Sure, I'm glad everyone had a good time. It was very fun to watch. We got a
question about tonight's mixed martial arts bout.
Thank you. Do you guys think the UFC is wrong for matching up Randy Costa and Giannis so early when it can be a future title fight? No. I mean, it can happen again. I mean, Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway fought when they were like super young in their career, and then we saw what happened. Like anything, like things change moving forward. So yeah, if it happens in a title fight down the road, it's another storyline to talk about.
Yeah, I don't. I'm okay. Normally, I don't, and I'm not too big on prospect versus prospect fights, but I think this one does make sense. And considering how just deep the men's bantamweight division is, I think there's plenty of space for this type of fight. And more importantly, I think if either guy loses, it won't be completely detrimental. It'll suck that night, obviously, and it'll take a couple wins to get back. But if one of them loses, it's not detrimental to their UFC career, I feel. So that's why I don't have big issues with this fight.
I'm also curious if this individual, what is it, Sartaz Hassan, said future title fight. I'm pretty high on Yanez. I think Randy Costa has a bright future. I think maybe in my mind, Yanez is maybe a step ahead. So, but maybe down the line. But bantamweight is so loaded right now, and we still have a title fight to get through.
Yeah, yeah, I do feel this is Yanez's fight to win. While Randy Costa is very good, what I've seen of Yanez is just kind of shockingly good. His striking. I don't know how he is as a complete mixed martial artist, but as a striker, he's exceptional.
What does this say? Hold on. Got to zoom in a bit. TJ at plus 160 is a great value. That is a pick'em fight. And also BKFC sucks. It's a joke. And IDK, why we wasting time on it? Well, I said it was a circus, but if you like it, I'm glad. Like, if Sartaz Hassan doesn't like it, then don't watch it. It doesn't bother me. Don't skin off my back. Just watch what you want to watch.
And who doesn't like the circus? Come on, circuses are awesome.
Real circuses or
not the ones where they hurt animals. I'm just talking about the clowns.
The ones with a lot of people don't like clowns. I'm gonna put it out there.
How about the ones where the animals hurt the clowns?
Yeah, that's sure. Regardless, anyway, TJ plus 160 is great value. It really is. I'm not a betting expert like Mike Heck. I don't like to bet. I don't like to gamble. I don't know odds. I'm not a degenerate gambler like one John Anik is, but those are his words, not mine. But I think plus 160 on TJ Dillashaw is a steal. This is a pick and fight to me. This is 50-50.
Let me see what the people on Tapology are saying. I'm kind of interested in that. What's the general? So they're not, people on Tapology aren't picking against the betting line. It's just more of a straight up pick.
Right.
And as a straight up pick, wow, 80% of fans think Sandhagen is going to win.
I'm curious if that's just they don't like TJ or they genuinely think. I have no idea. I favor Sandhagen, not heavily, but I'm curious why it's that big of a gap.
Oh wow, this is interesting too. Of those 80%, I would say about 80% of that 80%. Oh yeah, 80% of that 80% are picking him to win by KO too. So they don't think it's going to go the distance. They think he will finish the fight. So
interesting.
And for Dillashaw, of the 20% picked him, it's about split between decision or knockout, and a few people pick submission. So that's what the fans are picking. So I'm picking Sandhagen. Yesterday I had Sandhagen by decision. Today it was kind of when I had to make my picks. I did go Sandhagen knockout or finish by strikes in the third round. But I'm super curious. I have no idea. We just don't know what TJ is going to show up. We just don't know if this is a better version of TJ, an older version of TJ, older in a bad way. We just don't know. So that's why these are fun.
Or a TJ that hasn't taken damage for 2 years. So, not cutting weight and damaging your body for 24 months does wonders to a human's body. Just recovery.
Especially for a lifelong wrestler. So he's cutting weight and competing since he's been 6 years old.
And TJ is not the smallest bantamweight. So 2 years of not depleting your body and getting punched in the head. I don't know how much he was training. We saw all his workout videos and stuff like that, but it's just different when you're training for a fight rather than just working out.
All right.
What fights take fight of the night, performance of the night, KO of the night, submission of the night? Fight of the night. I think the obvious one is Yanez and Costa. Though both have had performance of the nights the last few. I think the Brandon Allen, Puna Soriano one should be on a short list for performance of the night, considering both of them are going to tap you or knock you dead. And then I think the main event, usually both fighters both fighters, whenever they win, usually get some sort of performance bonus. So I think those are just off the top. Those are the obvious picks, but I think in mixed martial arts, and I don't know why this has become the trend lately, it's people don't want to pick the obvious things. They're always looking for the dark horse or the sleeper, or they're trying to be like weird hipster contrarian saying, I picked this before you. I think it's fine to pick the obvious ones, and those three are pretty obvious for me.
I think the obvious fight of the night would probably be Sandhagen Dillashaw, but I'm gonna go with Elkins and Minor.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be just an ugly scrap, and Dana White and the brass like those type of fights. And Elkins, he wears how he fights on his chest. For performances, I'm gonna go with Soriano and Random Maverick.
You think she's gonna finish Macy?
I think so.
I think the Darren Elkins Minner one is going to be weird in the sense that Minner has... How many wins does Minner have? 24, 25, something like that?
26. He's 26-11.
And what, like 23 of those are submission wins? Something crazy like that?
All like on the original.
Yeah, but there's a ton.
Submission, guillotine. Yeah, lots of guillotines. Guillotine, triangle.
Yeah, and Darren
bar,
Elkins,
chokes.
I can't remember a time when Darren Elkins has been dominated into submission. Maybe like recently, but tough guy to finish versus a guy that is always finishing people. Yeah, you might be right, but that just might be a very one-sided fight.
A lot of times one-sided fights make fight of the night too. It's like because the UFC seems to love being tough. So who knows? Looking at the rest of the card. Yeah.
Ian Heinisch
I think Soriano
is good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, Soriano rules. I think this is a huge step for him because Brendan Allen is no joke on the ground. That dude is a monster grappler, and he trains over at Safford MMA. Like he's him and Rockhold are always tangling with each other. So he has incredibly high level training partners. But so does Soriano. He trains at Extreme Couture, right? Isn't Nick Sick his head coach? So
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Not only does he train there, I'm pretty sure he works there. Like he's on payroll. Like he's the front desk person. So both guys live in the gym. If TJ from Zane Wedding, if TJ has improved even slightly, his strategy and skill put him a level above other current bantamweights. So yeah, I think one thing people are forgetting that his last loss was at flyweight, and when he got popped and stripped, there was a legitimate argument that he was the best bantamweight who ever lived. If he has even remotely improved, he's gonna be a dangerous dude for anyone at 135.
Do you think? Were we giving TJ Dillashaw the kind of the hidden Barao treatment where like just because he had a little streak, he seemed to be the greatest ever? Because when Renan Barao was on his run, there was lots of talk about.
No, well, for Renan Barao, I always kind of put him 1B or 2 because that was still before Dominic Cruz lost. So Dominic Cruz was always hurt. So there was always that question that who would win between Prime Cruz and Prime Barao. And then when TJ pieced up Barao, I think TJ just kind of supplanted him in that conversation over who would win, and then Dominic beat him. But then Dominic beat Cody. I mean, Cody beat Dominic, and then TJ beat Cody back to back. So it just like not just beat him, but like knocked him dead in back to back fights. So I just think based off of MMA math, which is obviously the most logical way to go about this argument,
it's really the only way
as you know. So I just think TJ was by default. There was no clear answer bantamweight because I'm pretty sure he holds the record for most consecutive title defenses, which is like 2. So I think just by default he was the best.
But Brown didn't have more than that.
It was interims, undisputed. Because they were all interim. He has the most interim title defenses.
Yeah, and that's not his fault too. Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's so weird because the way the UFC decided to do things. And they didn't strip. Yeah, I forgot. But
Cruz was hurt for so long, and then Cody never successfully defended it, and I think Cruz successfully defended it once against Faber, or he defended it twice when he first did, and then had to like give it up, and then only defended it once against Faber, and then lost it to Cody. So it's been bouncing around a lot. People get popped or hurt.
Dude,
with Aldo Yan 2 booked for UFC 267, where does the winner of Cory versus TJ go from here? So yes, there has been a report that Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan 2 will go down October 30th in Abu Dhabi, if I remember correctly. Where does he?
Have we confirmed
We
that, or is
have.
that just
I think it's verbally, but it's not pen to paper. If you look
okay?
on MMA Fight, if you look at MMAfighting.com, I think we have an
Oh, I just
article
see
out
that
in the
1 hour
works.
ago. We put that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we posted it. So where does he go? If you look at Aljamain Sterling's tweet, he's the one that really broke this. He said he was going to beat Petr Yan in Abu Dhabi on October 30th, and then he said he would fight the winner of TJ Needleshaw versus Cory Sandhagen. I think that those are the words he used
Who said
because he
that?
obviously this is Aljamain Sterling's tweets. So the winner clearly gets the winner of Aljo and Yan.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think that was obviously a no-brainer, but the fact that now the current quote-unquote champion is putting it out there, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. So the winner. So we're almost August. So the winner of tonight's card will, at earliest, be fighting maybe first quarter of 2022. I'm thinking.
Sure.
Yeah. So
if
whoever
it's
wins is gonna be sitting out for at least 6 months. So
or if it's like a cakewalk for the winner in October, and the UFC throws a bunch of money at them to fight at the end of the year, just load up a card, maybe. Because we just had to make an interim title for the heavyweight just for a pay-per-view headliner. So if that's the case again down the road, and the UFC just needs a headliner, they might just dump a bunch of money at them to fight again.
Possibility. That's a possibility. It'll be just interesting how each the winner of tonight's card wants to handle their next 6 months.
Yeah.
The problem is it's a money thing too, because there's just so much more money in a championship fight, and if you win the championships, I think I don't know. I've heard fighters say like basically 4 to 5 times more money.
Yeah.
So
And
it's completely
I think
understandable.
I saw somewhere that Cory Sandhagen said he might not wait, like he might fight again, but it would be, I think, an impressive win cements you as the number one contender. Who would he fight next? Rob Font, Dominic Cruz?
Yeah, that's the problem. Like if you say Cory wants to fight again, he's gonna be. It's not like a tune-up fight for a championship fight. He's gonna be fighting a guy that's just that's championship level quality too. So
Right.
it's it's a tough one for fighters.
From BG216, do you guys think TJ's only route to win is his wrestling? Feel like putting a tough wrestling pace on early in the early rounds could set up TJ for the late finish. Maybe. TJ has an incredibly fantastic gas tank. He has great wrestling and great striking. We haven't really seen Cory Sandhagen grapple a whole ton because he hasn't had to. Because he's looked incredibly impressive on the feet. But so is TJ. I just think this is an MMA fight. Like, the winner is going to be the winner will be the one that makes the least mistakes, or the loser will be the one that makes the first mistake.
Yeah,
that's it. If because Cory, like TJ Dillashaw, his fight against John Lineker, he displayed every aspect of MMA: grappling, striking, it's like submission skills, everything. If Cory Sandhagen leaves himself open, TJ's not going to not take it. And whether it's a takedown, a head kick, anything. Same as Cory Sandhagen. First person to make a mistake will lose.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's MMA. Yeah, it's a
violent, as Darren Till and Rob Whittaker said, it's a violent chess match.
I love my favorite critique of fighters when they go, "Dude, you got to keep your hands up." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, okay.
And like, no one would get knocked out if their hands were up. I mean, that's just how it works.
It happens. Body shots are a myth. Scott McCray, excited for Elise Reed's debut. I know she was fighting up, and Eubanks is fighting down, but Reed's last 2 wins in CFFC were must watch. Yes, everyone go watch Elise Reed's interview with our own Mike Heck before her fight. I know she's early on in the card against Ajara Eubanks. Very excited for her future. I'm also incredibly excited to see not excited, but I'm curious to see how Sajara looks at 125, considering her previous run at 125 was kind of not great. She missed weight a bunch, was forced to move up, lost to a lot of good fighters and beat a lot of good fighters. And if she loses, I think, Casey, you said she's under 500?
She will be under 500, yes.
Yeah, so this is a crossroads fight for Sijara Eubanks, and I think it will be a good test for Elise Reed, but she can always go down if she needs to.
Yeah, I think Elise Reed, no matter what happens, her next fight will
We'll
be a
go down.
strawweight for Sarge. Hopefully, she made weight. Hopefully she made it healthy and she rehydrated properly, so we see the best version of her tonight. And yeah, it's a crossroads fight for Sarge.
To go off of Tapology, Elise Reed is the number one female prospect, pound for pound, in the U.S. Northeast, Southeast, Virginia, and Pennsylvania area, and number 8 in the country in terms of prospects, female prospects.
I know very little about her, so
she's only 4-0, so this will be one of those, like, if this was a fight, like if I was there covering this fight and she was at media day, this would be like, tell me, who's your coach? Who are you? Like, it's questions we want to know.
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, and which I don't mind. Like, I like those.
I don't either.
It's like, yeah, like, I don't know anything about you.
I don't mind those questions, or like if I don't have any problem asking a fighter to pronounce their name. I think like it's we got to know how to pronounce your name.
If you watch the early when Joanna Jędrzejczyk fought for the very first time, I actually asked her that in the post-fight scrum because I saw her win. I saw her how impressive she looked, even though it was a decision win over I think Julian Lima. I was like, I know I will be saying your name a lot, so will you please say your name to us? I still get it wrong.
Same thing as I did the same thing with Song Yadong. I did the same thing with Edmund Shabazian. I did just names you got to hear. Yeah. Jose Aldo is on record saying his name is Jose, not Jose. So anyone that says Jose Aldo is just wrong.
He was on the record for a while saying, too, his name is Junior, not Jose.
Yeah.
Remember, at the beginning of his career, it was like, no, he's Junior. But I think that just kind of fell apart.
100%.
Look at this guy.
What's up, gentlemen? Mike Kafka, MMA. Mike, how was Tampa? Terrible? I'm talking about the city, not the event. The event looked a lot of fun. BKFC coming to Chandler, Arizona in October. Me and Sean Elshad.
Where is that, Chandler, Arizona?
Chandler is southeast of me, but it's like the burbs.
Oh, it's like it's a drive. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's like 35.
The Phoenix Metropolitan
Phoenix
area.
Metro. Yeah, Phoenix Metropolitan. It'd be like if you had to drive to, like, if the fights were in Glendale. Okay. You know, it's just it's annoying to get to, but it's you can get there and back and still work.
Have you been to a bare knuckle event?
I'm trying to remember if there was bare knuckle on that weird. Remember there was that weird like Kurt Angle wrestled Rey Mysterio, Chael Sonnen wrestled Michael Bisping, like Roy Jones Jr. boxed someone. Yeah. That was all in Phoenix, and I can't remember if there was bare knuckle boxing.
Okay, but you haven't been to a BKFC event.
No, okay. No. All the BKFC events have not been around me.
Okay, I've been to 3 of them. I'm saying they're fun. They're fun. They're
sure.
They're big chaotic in a good way.
Yeah.
So,
this is Vanderford's fighting future. So obviously this is Paige Van Zandt. Let's be respectful. She's gonna fight again. Obviously, she loves fighting. Like, she doesn't have to. She makes a lot of money off of her website and various other business ventures. But if she wants to fight, so be it. I would not mind her fighting Jenny Savage. Is that her name? The one that lost to Britain Hart. They're both coming off losses. Paige has lost to Rachel Ostovich and Britain Hart, and Britain is obviously calling for the title shot. Rachel Ostovich, I think, surprised everyone with how good she was at bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
Even herself, she says, like, my UFC career, I just couldn't put it together. Now that she has, quote unquote, put it together in BKFC, maybe she's a world beater, and she's just lost to the 2 best. So if she wants to do BKFC again, Jenny Savage is the fight to make.
I would say either for Paige, either Jenny Savage or Cassie Robb, who now is on the roster. Sure. Cassie Robb got whooped up in like 20 seconds. So that makes sense if they want to, BKFC's invested some money in Paige and a lot of marketing resources. So I'm sure they want to, try to, just.
They're not going to give her Beck Rawlings.
No, that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense at all. For Beck versus Hart rematch, that's the fight to make. I was at when they fought the first time, and it was a great fight. Very close, and Beck won that fight. So I'm super down for a rematch. I'm actually really
Not
excited for
gonna.
that fight.
Dave Feldman said that there's going to be a tournament. I'm like, no, I don't want the tournament unless you declare, because I know Beck was a champion, but it wasn't the BKFC champion. It was like a different.
Mhm.
It was a different bare knuckle championship. The title was just on the line at a BKFC event, kind of like the old NWA format.
Yeah.
Where the NWA champion would just wrestle at various professional wrestling promotions. So if they just elevate Beck to undisputed, flyweight champion, whatever, and have her enter the tournament, a la Bellator Grand Prix, so be it. I just want Brittany Hart to fight for the title next.
Dude, and her and Joey Beltran, cutest couple in the sport right now. Come on.
Great, yeah, cool, love
it.
Good for the executioner. Anybody watching the Olympics? I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm not a big. I know a lot of people like they stop what they're doing to watch the opening ceremonies. Never been my thing, but I don't have anything against it. I just kind of forgot it was happening. I'm very excited for skateboarding in the Olympics, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I love the Olympics. I don't love a lot of the business side of it. I don't really like that part. But
right.
I'm gonna kind of just put blinders on and just focus on the competition. And Olympics are awesome. I don't know how this year's are gonna be. I don't want to get into the whole COVID stuff, but
right.
It's a mess. It is a mess. So I hope
I always really loved Olympic baseball too, because it's all college kids, like the next wave.
Mm-hmm.
You find a lot of future stars there, and Cuba dominated for so long because of the embargo. So, but now that a lot of them are playing in the U.S., they might not be able to get back, this and that. So it's always fun. I love the Olympic baseball, and I'm just very excited I love skateboarding, competitive skateboarding in general. So I'm excited to see it on the Olympic stage.
I still think I feel skateboarding as a medal as a Olympic sport is still the weirdest thing, but good for them.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, look. I love high level softball. That's fun to watch too.
Yeah. The ASU dominates.
Let me see what else we got.
Do you like the Maverick and Barber matchmaking? Think Lee will be a better opponent for Maverick. So they made this fight while Andrea Lee already had a fight against Antonina Shevchenko, because Miranda Maverick called out Antonina Shevchenko after her last win. And then she's like, and if she loses to Andrea Lee, I want to fight Andrea Lee. They made the Macy Barber fight. I don't know if that's because they're still high on Macy by giving another high-level opponent, or they just think Miranda can make a name off of Macy. Regardless, it's a fun fight. Super dangerous for Macy Barber's career, I think, in terms of like maybe psychological thing, because 3 in a row is tough to bounce back from, because
at the age of 22,
don't know, and I don't know, because you can make an argument that all of her fights have gone harder, or I can also see the argument that maybe the UFC is giving her what they believe is step downs, because Alexa Grasso has less. Roxanne Modafferi is the most experienced female fighter like in the Western Hemisphere. Alexa Grasso was coming up from weight. Maybe they thought Macy would just run through her, and then now they think maybe Miranda's just not as good as Macy. But Macy Miranda Maverick just might be the best of those 3 names. So interesting matchmaking. I love it. I love the fight. Dangerous for Macy Barber's career, though.
My thing is like I think Macy's people, win or lose, I just don't think this is a good fight for Barber. I just think it's too dangerous a fight after 2 losses, and I think arguably, I think Miranda actually has a higher ceiling and is better than Grasso and Roxy even at this time. So good luck, Macy Barber, tonight. You are about to face a monster of a lady.
Miranda is a very powerful individual. I want to see her fight a technical striker like Alexa or Andrea Lee.
Well, that ain't happening.
Not saying she not saying she won't win, but it's like I have questions, and that's like a fight that would answer a lot of questions. Macy Barber hits so hard though. Yeah, she throws those standing elbows like a fiend. It is unreal.
But you know what? But she's not gonna. Unless Macy improves her game, and has a more diverse attack. You know what Macy needs to do to get that win, and it's gonna be basically lots of power and aggression. So unless she can, so you have to stop that. But you need like every pitcher, you need more than one, you need more than a fastball. So
unless you're Aroldis Chapman, and then you have the fastest fastball who ever lived.
all right.
Macy also, remember when a fighter against Alexa Grasso, she would throw this jab from like 10 feet away.
Oh.
And people were like, what is she doing? And then she just come in with this super powerful right, like straight right that you could see from a mile away. Very strange, but still a fun fight.
Definitely. All right.
We're doing a drone shot of the Apex right now, but I haven't seen any fighters yet. I have the fights on. So that's a wrap for the pre-fight Q&A. This has been Jose and Casey Leydon. I assume AK Lee will be back in time for the post show. I don't know about Mike. He might be recovering from coming from Tampa. But if he's here, he will be host. If he's not, either me or AK will be host. You guys can decide who you want hosting, me or AK. That's how we'll decide. But until then, we'll see you in a couple hours. Enjoy UFC Vegas 32.